and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Park of Donington in the town of Donington. This is the ESR, RWB and Tugas mid-engine dual round 4 GP of the park. I am highly unprofessional, and with me as always is the man who lives in the land of confusion in a home by the sea with his invisible touch, Michael Max.
Whoa! So I'm Mike Rutherford?
Maybe.
Or am I Tony Banks? Which way are we going for here?
I think you are Enrique Estrada.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know if that would fix the Genesis theme. Land of Confusion, by the way, favorite Genesis song. It's the one that led me down that rabbit hole.
Oh, that's the one that they covered after the Serb.
Incorrect. I think there's another band that's also done a cover of it, but I don't.
Oh,
I'm not off the top of my head recalling. Also, a big fan of No Son of Mine and The Knife. That's probably my three favorites. Probably my three favorites.
There was a professional poker player named Martin de Kneef, and he went by the nickname The Knife.
I mean, that one feels very, very, very obvious. It's kind of like Kaspari going by the nickname Ziggy. It's just kind of obvious.
That doesn't make any sense.
His last name is Zigomanis. So Ziggy.
Well, sure, but shouldn't he be Ghosty Boy?
Why would he be Ghosty Boy? He's not that pale.
Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Although I'm pretty sure if I have any friend that goes by Ghosty Boy, is actually a guy I know named Casper who is albino as crap. He is pale as hell.
Parents gave no fucks. I like it.
Yeah. It's also pretty funny because he knows, I've told you stories of the Ramsey, aka the super racist guy I know who's obsessed with racial purity.
Oh, yeah.
He worships Casper because Casper is very, very large.
Very nice.
And Casper finds him very, very off-putting.
As well he should. We got RC in chat. RC, what's up?
All right, where are we today? What track is this again?
Donington. Didn't you hear any of my intro?
I did. I was not paying attention because I was making sure all the technical stuff.
Oh my god, I work and I slave for at least 8 seconds.
Donington Park, home of one of the most famous European Grand Prix in F1 history, or at least like the first lap of the race was magnificent. Although it's a bit weird seeing them go through that chicane at the end of the lap. I'm not sure what layout this is. Interesting to know. Hang on, I can find the answer.
RC says that Vroom is up. She is highly correct.
Indeed, there is
the best kind of correct.
Got Mad Al in the Monster Energy Valentino Rossi Ferrari.
Was this a bit Valentina Shevchenko?
Valentino.
Ah, Valentino, the Latin lover. No dog food for Victor tonight.
Indeed. What layout of Donington Park is this here today?
It's the best one. The one where the concert's going on and they run over the kids.
Right. It's not on Race App. I was looking at Race App for it. I'm like, I can't find it. I'm like, oh, right. It's on the RWB website.
Race App, stay strapped.
Indeed. Donington Park National layout. There's our answer. This is the fourth round of the championship. We've been to Interlagos. We've been to Imola. We've been to Twin Rig Motegi. We are now Donington Park National, our second stop on the European continent in this series. And championship leader is Tobias Thierolf. He has 1-1. And finished second, and then won again. And that's how he's rolled. He's 8 points ahead of Martin Edmonds. Alfonso Alchandre is the only other guy to have won a race. He is on 112 points in third place. Then it is Fumihiro Kobayashi and James Butler, your top 5. James Butler, by the way, looking like he's struggling today. We were seeing in practice he was down towards the back, and he's kind of down towards the back again and get 10th place here in qualifying. Although ahead of Mauricio Delgado, Vic Vega, and Steve Davidson. Meantime, Dirk Greschel gave us the story of the Zero Force Racing livery. It is an esports sim racing team, like I thought last time. But it's nice to have the confirmation. He's a member of it, as well as those who have viewed our streams in the past probably remember Martin Peter. He's very, very rapid and very German. He is also on that team. Theorolf on pole right now by 0.263. Oh, big spin. Might be James Butler who spun out there. Ariel Zatoni second, Magic Kazchuk in third, followed by Ben Davis. Go Benji. And then Andrew D, the returning Sean Zulu, Martin Edmonds, Bertrand Barrier, Dirk Greshel, and Mad Al. Your top 10. Your boy Jeb Sparks is down in 13th place, Byron. How does that make you feel?
I'm fine.
Really? Jeb Sparks would be very disappointed. I
have no doubt that he would be, as my favorite carries massive influence.
Well, I mean, he's your second favorite, in fairness.
I mean, yeah, it's correct. I do enjoy Bubba Sparks more than Jeb.
No, well, your first favorite is the man of charcuterie, Mauricio Delgado.
Also, well, I thought we were speaking specifically of Sparks.
Ah.
Collie Block Bubba's Bubs.
Well, I would hope that most of these guys are at least your favorite person with their last names. They're all pretty unique and odd last names.
You mean like Al?
With the exception of, I guess, maybe James Butler. That's pretty common. Davidson and Butler, I guess, would be the two that are breaking the mold here, being pretty common last names. Speaking of Steve Davidson, here he is going across the line, still in 13th place. Or no, up to 13th actually. You picked up a spot over Sparks and Vega. James Butler in the very colorful Apt Schaeffler Audi. Another spin. He's had two of those, I think. Hitting that curb a little bit too hard. So Byron, how's your day been?
The worst. I slept in pretty late. I woke up, I had a shower, some jerk off texted me like, "Are we doing commentary in like 5 minutes or not?"
I said 15 minutes.
I totally forgot we were doing this today. I don't know why, it slips my mind about half the time completely. But here we are, Paul Hendrick X'd up, surging to the front.
Got a good lap going. And he'll be in 11th place as a result.
Well, there's only 10 people out there. How do you know?
There are 16.
I can count.
There may be more.
My dad.
My camera. We got a 19 out there actually. Rene Ermer, Ken Scott, and Josiah Jerome yet to post a lap.
Had to get my dad to help fix my back window screen again because my cat busted out the window again.
Rene Ermer up to 3rd place, by the way. Good lap.
Boo. I'm just kidding. So this time we grabbed some PVC quarter round from Home Depot and some finishing nails, and we nailed that sucker down. And by we, I mean he did it, because I couldn't kneel down to do it.
I was going to say, this doesn't sound like a task you're actually equipped for.
It was a joint adventure, which my dad did most of the menial labor.
90% of the labor.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, Vic Vega has left the server. Hopefully he'll be back.
No, Victor, bye.
Hopefully this will keep the goose from escaping.
That's the plan. Hopefully he doesn't bust out the front window this time. Again.
The goose is all about that freedom.
Yeah, the problem is that the crows in the neighborhood don't like it. So if I ever hear like a lot of crow action outside, I kind of assume that he's broke out again.
Gotcha. Rene Ermer up to 2nd fastest. Too good. Good to see a new face towards the front in his stylish Skechers livery.
Correct.
Big spin around at the back there from, I didn't catch who that was.
What I can tell you is that since he was wandering around my neighbor's backyard, they think he is a very handsome boy.
Oh.
They are correct.
That's good. Bertrand Barrier up into 3rd quickest. And the DTM, that is the Mike Rockefeller livery. I don't know what the sponsor is.
Rockefeller Skank.
By the way, always my favorite DTM driver will forever be Mike Rockefeller. Mostly because DTM doesn't really exist anymore. It's just another sports car series now, which disappoints me.
Is that not what all of this is?
So back in the day, there was a series called DTM, and there still is. DTM was a sort of like European NASCAR type deal, where like the shells were the cars, but the insides didn't resemble them in any way. So it was very cool, very fun, loved it, big fan. They don't do that anymore. They just do GT3s now. So, and I love GT3s. I love me GT3s. They are probably my favorite cars to watch race. They're the most equal, yet being different. But it lost the uniqueness of the series, because at least when they were doing the old school DTMs, they were their own thing. They were unique. You looked forward to it. Now it's just another GT3 series.
Maybe they should go to go-karts and no helmets.
So Mike Rockefeller, my favorite, followed by the two Canadians, Bruno Spengler and Robert Wilkins.
And Rubens Barrichello.
Barrichello never raced in DTM.
Or did he?
He did not. A couple of ex-F1 drivers did go to DTM after F1. John Alesi, Mika Hakkinen, Ralph Schumacher, David Coulthard, Vitaly Petrov. All come to mind. Heinz-Harald Frentzen also did. And Timo Glock. Timo is that Glock.
But what about Kai Car-France?
Ooh. You know, Kai Car-France does definitely have the build of a race car driver, I would say that. So if he ever wants to try to transition over, he's got the build.
He got the look.
He's got the look of a race car driver in a fight man's body.
Gotta go fast.
Mauricio Delgado going 13th quickest. Speaking of fighting, you looking forward to any of the fights today?
I'm looking forward to Kevin Holland versus 17 Buffalo. I can't remember who, other than the main event and the co-main event, I can't remember who's on the card. Let me have a look.
It ain't very impressive, I'll be honest.
I did look 3 or 4 days ago, and now I don't remember.
For a pay-per-view, this is a very weak UFC offering.
Well, I mean, it is in Canada, and the UFC hates countries that aren't the United States. And no matter of fact, they also hate the United States, so... let's see here. Oh, we got the Power Bar. Power Bar is going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, he's fighting Eric Anders. I'm not looking forward to that.
Well, win, lose, or draw, it's going to be fun.
No, it's not. Eric Anders makes everyone boring.
Well, maybe...
Like, my fear is not that he's going to lose. My fear is that it's going to be a crappy fight.
Maybe he'll beat the boring out of the boy. That boy, Daniel Ige versus Nate the Land Cruiser. That's going to be fun.
That is fun. That is a really fun fight. I just think that Landwehr's generally getting exasperated.
I think Benil Dariush is going to go for at least 50,000 takedowns every
that
round.
that fight is the one I'm looking forward to. That is super fun.
And Aldana's probably going to get starched, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing going for Aldana really is that when Juliana Pena fought Nunez for the first time, I was like, she ain't got no chance. And she went out there and like took it to Nunez, who looked a little checked out. And if she looks a little checked out again, maybe we get something.
Yep, could be. You never know. That's why they have to fight. Otherwise, it'd just be called not fighting.
There have been many great upsets in MMA history. None greater than Matt Serra knocking out GSP.
Pretty much. Or that time Sabu came through the ceiling and body dropped Matthews.
Oh, speaking of Sabu, did you see his AEW appearance?
No, I knew he was going to be on, but I have not seen it. I should track that down.
I did enjoy Adam Cole's introduction promo for him. Adam Cole's been on a roll lately with these teasing people's returns or debuts. He did the Roderick Strong promo, and then they had him come out and be like, we're going to be fighting in an unsanctioned match. That means this match is going to be homicidal, genocidal, suicidal. And my backup for this match is Sabu.
Very nice. He will break your back and make you humble.
R.I.P. Iron Sheik.
Get out there, Sheiky baby, and start back body dropping all the interstellar and celestial people. Do it. Do it. It'll be great.
Oh, the white Audi is driven by Mr. Josiah Drum. So there you go.
Wow. Where's he
We
from?
have a name to put to the livery now.
I got a name. We'll look up and see what flag he's flying today.
I think it's the same as last time. I think it's Aruba still.
You are correct. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I want to take you. Drink some Curacao in Guadalupe.
Looking up the national track layout for Donington Park. Let's see, we've got a track map for that one. They do. Awesome. So basically, instead of the GP layout, where basically, I'm not really talking to you, Byron. I'm talking to people who know this track. You take the usual GP layout, but where you get to that last hairpin that leads into the end, that you cut off and it becomes a chicane. Actually, I kind of like it. I like the way it looks. Probably because it takes away the two things that I'm terrible at on this track and doesn't make me do them. That's nice. Donington Park, former home of the British Grand Prix, former home of the European Grand Prix. One of those many, many, many times Formula One was like, we would like to have two races in your country, but we can't both call them your country, so that you are getting the European Grand Prix. They've done that with Germany a couple times, as well as Spain and the United Kingdom.
What about the dislocated kingdom?
Or my personal favorite. Back in 1997, they wanted to have they put the European Grand Prix in Spain. The historical home of the European Grand Prix was a second racetrack in Germany called the Nürburgring, which you're familiar with because it's Nordschleife. And they were like, well, we still have a race at the Nürburgring. We can't call it the European Grand Prix. What do we call it? The Luxembourg Grand Prix. Not anywhere near Luxembourg, but okay. It's how Luxembourg has officially hosted a Formula One Grand Prix, even though they have no racetracks.
The grandest of pricks. Wait, what?
And now coming across the line, 11th place still. Top 10, Thirl, Irmer, Barrier, Zatoni, Greshel, Kazchuk, Davis, Zulu, D, and Edmonds. Man, Martin's not on the base today. He's within a second of pole and everything, but he's got in 10th place.
He's turbolist.
It's not good news for him because he usually does not come through the field because that involves tire management, and he's not good at that. Scott Nick, I love Scott Nick's livery. I like the lizard.
Is it sponsored by Sobeys?
It's sponsored by Bastic, looks like.
Spastic. That
Bastic.
tracks.
Bastic. B.
That tracks. He's all spastic.
Or Bostic. Pardon me. Bostic is an O. I have no idea what Bostic is. Let's find out. Bostic, Canada. Okay, yep. This looks like the answer. It's looking like some kind of pill company.
Dick pills. Sponsored by Dick pills.
Oh no, yeah, nope, not Dick Pills. It is a building construction supplier. They make sealants.
All right.
Manufacturer and distributor of adhesives and sealants for construction, industrial, and consumer markets.
Right. I forgot about them. For some reason or other, I was watching a lot of home improvement shows, way, way, way back in the day, and a lot of their products were on it. I think it's because it was mostly homes on homes.
Headquarters, Colombes, France. So it's a French company. No, it is not. Founded in 1889 in Chelsea, Massachusetts. It's American.
That's pretty much France.
It really isn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's closer than I am.
I mean, I guess. I don't know actually, because it's France is notably north of Massachusetts.
Well, yeah, but I'm just a little bit further.
Just a little bit further
west.
to the west.
Slightly further to the west.
The reasons its headquarters in France is it has at some point been acquired by Arkema, which is a French company.
A French company based out of Peru, owned by people from Ghana.
It employs over 20,000 people. Yeah.
But how many slots?
They are a manufacturer of specialty materials, adhesives, advanced materials, and coatings. Thank you for joining us in this rabbit hole.
Next, we look at Man Truck.
I feel like we've already looked at Man Truck. There's not much more to say on the title, honestly.
Man Truck.
That's one of those ones that, like, you see the title, it gets you interested, but you're not, like, asking questions. Like, it's very clear. Raul Valoria on track, trying to get a lap time in here. We are at 21 cars. Still no lap times from Raul Valoria, Josiah Jerome, or Ken Scott. Vic Vega is back, but he has lost his lap time, so he's going to get that back. Speaking of which, there he is. In the first sector in the WeatherTech car. I know what they do. I know WeatherTech.
They make milkshakes.
By the way, the third sector, incredibly short on this track. Just saying. No, WeatherTech makes, weatherproofing, like, car material and stuff. They're the sponsors of the GT Championship in the United States, and they were also a customer of one of the companies I worked for back in the day. Doing credit analysis for them.
Does the WeatherTech race get rained out a lot? Because that would be very funny.
No, because WeatherTech's main race is Laguna Seca, which is in the middle of the desert. Rain is not normally a problem.
Well played. Well played. The WeatherTech 5000 brought to you in the middle of nowhere. There's no weather here. We're just going to change it to the tech race.
I mean, one would think that with all that sand blowing around, it actually is challenging for them to weatherproof the cars.
Yeah. Just got to put a leaf blower on the front.
Sir, have you ever felt the downforce of these cars? They don't need no leaf blower at the front.
I ain't got run over by one yet.
There's a lot of air coming off these cars, just saying. We have Slider in the chat. Oh, I love Donnie. Well, that's good. You're going to be happy with the results. What is your favorite layout of the Donington Park track? Because we're doing the national layout today.
Actually, I think he's talking about Donnie Wahlberg.
I mean, also a fine answer. Although, isn't that spelled with an I-E?
I couldn't tell.
I've seen Donnie Wahlberg's name spelled a lot of times. I'm pretty sure it's got the I-E at the end.
Could be. All I know is that Carwood looked him as a fine man.
His finest role, yes. I enjoyed him in Saw 2, I will say that. Didn't overly enjoy the movie, but Donnie Wahlberg, I thought, does a great job in it.
I have never bothered to watch any of the Saw movies.
Watch the first one, it's good, and then stop.
All I know is it kept coming out. It's like that in Hostel.
Now, well, I am a big fan of Saw number. I am a big fan of Saw number 8 because they cast somebody who instantly will get me interested at all times. Callum Keith Rennie.
Very nice.
You like the hairpin? Well, we got no hairpin today, so unfortunately, that's not gonna work out for you all that well. I hate the hairpin myself. That's because I'm bad
power
at
slide,
it.
baby. Power
I'm
slide,
bad at
the
the
whole
hairpin.
thing.
Derek Greshel in 6th place at the moment. Coming to the line here. Can he improve? Probably not. Nope. Antonio Costa has joined the server, so we're up to 22.
Josiah Jerome up into 3rd place.
Mm-hmm.
He
got the lap together. So still looking for times from Raul Valoria, Ken Scott, and Antonio Costa. They're all in the pit lane right now, so time is running out for them. Join to get that 20th spot at the very least. Big Vega coming across the line there, unable to improve his time. One of the car guy Ferraris was off the track there. That's either Mauricio Delgado or Andrew D.
So you got car guys, and you got man truck.
I think the car guy racing car is probably your favorite one. It's the very yellow banana one. Raul Valori goes to it. I'll point it out next time it's on screen.
I do like Jello.
There's the BWT Pink Panther. Heading down the track, Adam Komorowski. Oh, we lost somebody from the server. We lost... Whoever had not posted a lap... Oh, there we go. Antonio Costa was the one we lost. He's back. Yeah, we lost Costa, it looks like. So he'll probably not get a lap time there. Komorowski probably won't. And Scott probably won't. So 23 cars, but only 20 times posted. Scott Nick in the Bostic car. Trying to climb up through the field a little bit here. He's currently in 19th place. Comes across the line. Should have a little bit of an improvement here. Maybe get Vic Vega. Nope. Still 19th quickest. Although that was, in fact, his fastest lap. 1:06.587.
4.359.
Byron, should I fill all the Gronk tag people in the Discord with dread by posting that picture of the Chicago Fireball team I sent you?
Yes. That's fucked up.
Oh, I didn't create that team. I swear that's what Baseball Stars 2 has for their team. Sure. It is. It is. I always remember as a kid, me and my friend Patrick could not beat the Chicago Fireballs. I think I know why now.
Mike's self-harming tendencies come to the front, sabotages his own league against himself.
Now, in fairness, they're in the other conference, so we don't have to beat them to get to the championship. If we face them, it will be in the championship games.
And by that point, we will be so roided magooed that they won't be even.
That's the hope. That's the hope, because they won't, like, on the bright side, if I haven't started a franchise with them, I may do that tonight just to see how much money they have. I imagine they have no development funds. Because I imagine, like, several of those players are going to be demanding, like, $50 million a season.
Could be.
So I imagine their payroll will be completely used up. Whereas ours, we have $50 million in development funds for the season. So, hey.
Very nice.
We'll have quite a bit. I've been running just like a sim every game franchise mode just to see if there's anything that I need to be aware of about like what happens. And also I wanted to experiment with the morale stuff. And yeah, no, we get updates. We probably get the ability to do a player development every like second game. So it'll be
oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. We should improve quite rapidly. Is what I'm getting at. Watch out for low-flying aircraft. Adam Komorowski trying to get a lap time. This will be his last chance. So hang on. I'm going to overrule the auto director. You're going to ride with him. I apparently don't have a proper cockpit cam. This is the best that I can do. So Tobias Thierolf is on the pole unless somebody can snatch it here in the dying seconds of qualifying. Rene Ermer, Josiah Jerome, Magic Kaschuk, Ariel Zatoni, Bertrand Barrier, Dirk Breschel, Andrew D, Benji Davis, and Sean Zhu, your top 10. Martin Edmonds in 11th place. He's in the chat. He's my Ed. Matt Al in 12th, followed by Mauricio Delgado, Serge Hendricks, Jeff Sparks, Vic Vega, James Butler, Scott Nick, Raul Valoria, and Adam Komorowski at the line takes 19th place. So he jumps Raul Valoria. Okay. No lap times, by the way, from Steve Davidson. Oh, Steve must have lost connection from the server and not been able to put up a lap time. That sucks. It'd be nice if the game would save the lap times, because I do feel very bad for him. He'll start from 21st place. Ken Scott and Antonio Costa also no lap times, but they, to my recollection, I don't think they ever had lap times.
Just lap spaces.
I'm not entirely sure why the standings thing is not going away.
Couldn't tell you.
There we go. I pressed the button and it went away.
I think you have to hold down Alt F4.
All right. Well, we got 2 minutes warm up here for everyone to just get their tires ready, get their fuel ready, and we'll see what happens here. Guys who you look forward to coming from the back. Antonio Costa is a really fast guy. He's starting from dead last position, so that should be fun. Steve Davidson will be coming through the field, I imagine, as will Raul Valoria, who got one lap in, I think, only in qualifying there, starting from 20th, 21st, and 23rd. Look for them to move through the field. Martin Edmonds also feels like a little out of place, as does Serge Hendricks down in 14th, so they may be danger men as well. What do you think, chat? Anyone you're looking forward to climbing through the field, rocketing through, getting the Jos Verstappen award for amazing starts?
Steve Dave, where's the first? Come on, baby. Smoke the whole crowd.
RC is going with her ESR Academy rival, James Butler, to move through the field.
He shall buckle along in this.
You can have more than one rival. Not limited to one.
You can only have one arch nemesis.
Yes, one arch nemesis, but many rivals. Many rivals. I have one arch nemesis in racing, but many rivals.
And all of them are Rubens Barrichello in a mask.
I mean, you know who my arch nemesis is, that's for sure.
That would be Paul Rickenback.
The clap.
It's not really I don't know. It's like having a fight with a teenager. You're just going to kick his ass.
No, not really. He wasn't a slow driver. He's just a dick.
Correct.
Whereas for rivals, we have John Barker, we have James Butler a little bit. We have I'm blanking on his name. Ayrton Arsenault. There you go. That's him.
And the racer known.
Would you believe back in the day, I actually had a rivalry with Josiah Jerome. Then he got good.
Yeah. He got good quick.
Rene Ermer also fits in that category of guys who I had a rivalry with, and then that rivalry went downhill. All right, on board with Steve Davidson for the start. Here we go. And we are off. There was a stewarding warning there, so I wonder if someone dropped the start. We'll see if anybody takes a drive-through. Josiah Jerome on the outside of Tobias Thierolf at the start, looking to make his way around, but Thierolf got the inside line. He'll retain the lead. Also, Josiah getting a little bit rough there on the curbs, and that will cost him second place to the red Ferrari of Magic Kazchuk. Fourth place for Rene Ermer. Fifth place for Ariel Zatoni, followed by Dirk Greshel, Benji Davis, Bertrand Barria. Oh, that is James Butler off. Adam Komorowski also off the track in the Pink Panther car. Rounding off the top 10, we've got Edmonds and Dean. Sean Zulu has fallen down to 11th place, so not a good start for him. Mauricio Delgado, Matt Al, Vic Vega. Your big climber is Antonio Costa. He is up 5 positions to 18th place from the dead last. Big fallers are Butler and Komorowski, who are now at the back.
Perhaps.
There's the car guy cars, by the way. Andrew D and Mauricio Racing Nogaro in the yellow Ferrari. Ferraris, I should say.
So like
And somebody is going for a drive-through. It is... I can't tell because it's not praying the name out. It'll be whoever's in last place shortly. Oh no, it's Josiah Jerome!
Womp womp.
Josiah jumped the start and he'll find himself in 22nd position. That is...
Well, let's see
that
what
is
they do.
not good.
Kid's pretty fast. Let's see what happens.
There's Antonio Costa, who's been quietly making his way through the field. He's up 6 spots, 17th place in the Red Bull Ferrari. It's actually one of the better Red Bull liveries, in my opinion. Looks very nice. Bertrand Barrier dropping to 7th. Not a good start. Oh, Dirk Greshel. The Zero Force car is off. He will rejoin probably near the back, I'd imagine. Theerolf leading by a second over Kazchuk. Irmer in close proximity, followed by Zatoni Davis and Barrier. Side-by-side action, Jebs Sparks.
Oh my God.
Edging out Vic Vega for 13th place. There is Rene Irmer in the Skechers car on the tail of second place man and top Ferrari driver Magic Kazchuk. That is Bertrand Barrier off. Looks like he may have overpushed it.
I say Bertram.
On board with Sean Zulu. Oh, we've lost Jeb Sparks. We're down to 22 cars. Zulu trying to track down Andrew D while trying to hold off the Monster Energy Ferrari of Mad Al. Another spot there lost by Benji Davis, who is falling backwards. Finds himself in front of Scott Nick as well as Antonio Costa in the Red Bull Ferrari. Side-by-side action. One of the Audis is in there as well. That is, I think, Raul Valoria. And there is Adam Komorowski battling with Ken Scott over 21st position. So it does look like Sparks parked it. I was wondering if he had had technical difficulties as one of the BWT Pink Panther car recovering there from and off. Still running in 21st position.
Well, see if they were
actually behind
push the
behind
gas pedal instead of running.
Benji Davis. What's up? Benji's in the pits for a pit stop. Interesting. Must have something wrong with the car. Komorowski trying to get around Ken Scott. And he will. Oh no! The BioCircle car smashes into the BWT car. I would not be surprised if that ends up in front of the stewards for this round.
Always snitching people out, man.
It's up to them to report it. There is no snitching.
Hey, what the hell is that?
That is Josiah Jerome having a spin.
What is going on with that kid?
A couple of cars have lost in that corner, so there must be some off balancing going on through there. By the way, Scott Nick making up another spot there, overtaking Steve Davidson, and that opens up the door for Dirk Greshel as well. Also, there is Bertrand Barrier. So Greshel and Barrier are very out of place. They should be charging back through this field. So should maybe James Butler. They're generally faster. Antonio Costa may... Nope, he's in the pits. So he's not retired. Interesting. James Butler's still on the tail here of the Scott Nick train. Looks like there's some damage to the front end of Greshel's car, which would not be surprising if Steve Davidson spins off. A lot of spins today. A lot of spins. What's up, guys? Side by side between Barrier and Greshel.
Too many listens to the retro 80s video. And spinning right round, baby, right round.
Spin you right round, baby, right round. Look at the inside there. I think that will be Barrier through. Greshel is not going to have a fun time with the damaged car. Somebody is off. That is Raul Valori off in the grass. Man, they're falling off left, right, and center here. Jesus. By the way, Vic Vega up ahead has overtaken Mauricio Delgado. No, that's Dirk Gresheloff.
God dang.
And Mauricio trying to get that spot back from Vic Vega there. This, by the way, is for a 9th place. This race has been insane. So many people have had terrible days. By the way, Benji Davis is elected to pull the pin. He is out. Joining Jeff Sparks on the bench.
Quitters.
So we've got 20 cars in the lead lap. Antonio Costa is lapped after having taken that pit stop. And he's still in the pit lane, I think. Just keeping it clean here has gotten guys into the top 10. Like I was not expecting, I don't know about you, but I was not expecting Vic Vega or Mauricio Delgado to be a top 10 player in this race. But they are.
I expect Mauricio to win via chorizo every single time.
I mean, if that was the level of requirement to win the race, he would win every time.
You push the button, it sprays wine all over somebody's car, and then he just skates on by.
Wins by deploying the cheese shell.
Indeed. Put cheese all over the tires. That's how he beats Martin.
Antonio Costa has rejoined the race. He's a lap down, but he is going to charge on. Bertrand Barrier on the tail of James Butler. Josiah Jerome off the track again. What's going on here?
The boy ain't right.
Boy is not having a good day. ESR's child prodigy is not doing too well today. One of our two child prodigies. Slider says there are spots in this track that you go over a hunt and get very loose. That's true. I've actually never raced the RaceRoom version of Donington Park. I've raced it in Race On, as well as Assetto Corsa Competizione and Assetto Corsa. I know it's a track that it is easy to get loose on. I'm just not used to seeing drivers of this quality have this quantity of incidents. This is a very talented field. Very talented field. You look through this field, there's some amazing racers here. Tobias Thierol, Patrick Kaschek, Renee Ehrman. They've kept it clean, of course, but like I'm also looking at Josiah Jerome, fantastic driver. Antonio Costa, fantastic driver. Steve Davidson is not the fastest driver on the planet, but like a really smooth guy. And to see them having multiple incidents is it's a bit odd. It's a bit weird, I don't mind saying. And Bertrand Barrier and James Butler are both examples of guys who have had incidents today. And Barrier is going to make himself into 13th place there. Serge Hendricks, we'll check in on him as he's in 8th place, trying to catch up to Mad Al as well as Sean Zulu. Mad Al in the lovely Monster Energy livery Ferrari. Insert Hans Molenkamp joke here. And Josiah Jerome is in the pits as well as... Oh, no, Ken Scott has just come to us. I'm just not used to seeing this number of accidents out on track.
I will used to it because all I watch is Heat to Pass.
Well, that's true. Oh, Mauricio! In the wall. Something's wrong with that car.
No.
Something is terminally wrong with his car.
Yeah, dang. I think there's
And the background there is Scott Nick with a spin.
Little netcode issue we got going on here.
Gotta be a netcode issue, yeah. See if he snaps back to reality here at any point.
Oops, there goes gravity.
No, it seems like he's just off the track. Something is broken on that car.
Interesting. Power steering, gone.
I'm not getting a damage reading on the VNC camera control, but that often doesn't work. That often is kind of like a binary car can't continue thing.
Damage report number 1. God dang. All right. Well, that's just how I'm gonna be interested to see if this is a glitch or if he goes into the pits.
Yeah, I don't know. Gotta be netcode. The only other explanation would be like a broken like axle. Mad Al is right on the tail of the Audi of Sean Zulu. This is for 6th place. Andrew D, by the way, has dropped back to 10th place. Not sure what the deal with that is. Dirk Breschel's on the tail of Steve Davidson. Looking to make back up into 13th place. Both of these guys have been in the wars. Slider, I think that calling what Mauricio's car is doing crabbing is like a disservice to crabbing.
Lobster.
Andrew D appears to have decided to explore the avenues of the center of the earth. So I think both Car Guy cars are experiencing some significant problems right now. Mauricio's in the pits, so that may not be netcode. That may be legitimately how the car was handling, which I applaud your stick-to-itiveness, Mauricio. I would have probably rage quit 3 on the lap. Dirk Breschel still on the tail of Steve Davidson. Ariel Zatoni is off the track, trying to recover in the safest manner possible. Go. Back underway in 7th. And Breschel continue. Oh, Zatoni's off again. It's going. Oh.
I think he just really wants to mow the lawn.
Adam Komorowski on the tail of Raul Valoria, looking to make a move, and he will. By the way, that is the blue flagging car of Tobias Thierolf coming in the background there, the number 14 Audi. Making his way through the back markers. James Butler and Bertrand Barrier are back at it again, which, I mean, this is a dream combination for you, Byron. The very aggressive Frenchman and the very aggressive Brit racing for the same position.
Both of them trying to invade space.
Probably. But I do think Barrier will get away. I think he's just a little bit faster. But also a little bit more prone to spinning the car. He's a guy who, I've said this repetitively, 110% at all times on the push level.
Martin Edmonds, you can find 3 seashells for your repeated abuse of shenanigans.
Speeding in the pit lane for Mauricio Delgado, so this day has gone from bad to worse for him.
Fix the steering, but not the gas pedal.
Although Josiah Jerome and Antonio Costa also having very bad days as well. Ken Scott off the track too. Ken Scott's been lapped, Delgado's been lapped, Costa's been lapped, Jerome's been lapped. So we are down to 16 cars on the lead lap of the race. Although even less than that, because we do know that Raul Valoria and Adam Komorowski have been lapping the leader. So he's lapped up to 15th place. I think Scott Nick is still on the lead lap proper.
By God, it's Mike Stockdale's music.
Whoop, Steve Dave.
God dang, Steve Dave.
Mad Al still on the tail of Sean Zulu. This battle is now for 5th place. These two guys have just simply kept on the track and been rewarded heavily with points right now. Martin Edmonds is another one of those who's just kind of stayed on the track and is up into 4th place in the WeatherTech Ferrari. This is a bit of a tortoise and the hare scenario. Byron, I know there are no golf cars out there, and that'll hurt your soul. Bertrand Barrier is off again, by the way. But who is your favorite livery here today? Is there anything caught your eye?
I like the South African livery.
Would that be the Zulu
That
livery?
one.
Yeah, James Butler also has that one.
Yeah. Everything else it's okay.
Apt Schaefer livery is the winner today.
Indeed.
Bertrand
The
Barrier
lowest
has
colors.
parked the car. He is out. So 19 cars still running. Oh, make that 18. Raul Valoria falls out. Ken Scott is getting overtaken there by Antonio Costa. Looked like he was getting out of the way of Scott Nick coming through on a lap. And Costa just pounced. I'd have to say Antonio Costa's livery is the winner for me today. I'm not normally a fan of the Red Bull liveries, but I think this one does work quite nicely.
The lighter blue is kind of nice, but yeah, it's not quite South African.
I just think that I think my problem is I've seen other App Schaeffler liveries, the sponsor that car is running, and I feel like they've done better. So I'm kind of punishing this one by proxy as they go side by side with Mad Al, and Mad Al will take the fifth spot away from Sean Zulu. That's one of the car guy cars recovering. That is Mauricio Delgado. We've lost Steve Davidson. They are dropping like flies.
Dang, Steve Dave.
17 remaining.
Andrew D. NF.
I mean, in fairness, I don't think he had a say in that one because I believe his car is tunneling towards the center of the earth right now.
Correct.
I suspect this is one of those Andrew D's internet failures, which he does have a fair bit of them. Andrew, if I may be so bold, maybe check to see what the family is doing internet-wise and just kick them off for a little bit.
Strangle them. Just temporarily.
That was Ken Scott getting out of the way. His car looks like it is crabbing a fair bit. Because Andrew D's internet has a tendency to do this, and I can't really think of why it would be, because as far as I know, he lives in a relatively urbanized area of Canada and should have access to quality internet.
Yeah, well, but Canada has only got one internet provider, and the government mandates that we've got to pay several $1,000s.
We got 3. Sure. Rogers, Bell, and Kojiko.
Which are all owned by Coca-Cola and Disney.
They are not. They're not. They're actually not intertwined. Yeah, we can't complain about internet, sir. Have you seen some of the areas of the United States?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they really have no options. Or we could be from Argentina, where our internet uses a different set of protocols to everybody else's internet. And we wonder why it sucks. Ariel Zatoni catching up to James Butler. Battle for 9th place. Here's how you know this race has been a little bit weird. Butler and Zatoni we've seen pointed the wrong way like 3 or 4 times, and they're battling for 9th place. That's how you know this has been a rough race. Speaking of which, Adam Komorowski off the track and making a recovery there in the BWT Audi.
I think everybody should have got the mutter tires. Probably put chains on for this race.
Seems like. They are really, really struggling with the elevation changes here at Donington Park. You can see them like visually how much we're talking about here. Butler going down the inside of Vic Vega. Ken Scott is in the way. And that may have saved Vic Vega. Blue flag traffic. And in fairness to Scott, I want to say this. I'm not calling him out here. I don't know where he was supposed to put the car there. Like, that's the problem. We've got two guys giving blue flags and they're going side by side. It's hard to know what to do with that. And he picked a line. He stuck with it. And unfortunately, it was the line that blocked up Butler. Meantime, Butler will lose a spot there to Ariel Zatoni. We know Zatoni is quick. He was looking at a podium before he had his own fair share of problems. We'll see what he can do about Vic Vega now. Matt Al on the tail of Martin Edmonds, Rene Ermer on the tail of Magic Kashuk. So a couple of battles are still going on, but this is probably the most spicy. Butler trying to track down Zatoni and Vega. And Ken Scott off the track and back on. Haven't checked in on the battle for second place in a while. It's been going pretty much the whole race. Rene Ermer trailing Magic Kashuk. And Ermer's got the pace to stay with him, but he hasn't really shown the pace to make an issue at a second place. By the way, I'm noticing a couple of extra people joined the chat, so welcome anybody who DNF'd from the race, and we would love to hear your story. Rene Ermer trying to cut down Kashuk, Matt Al trying to help down Martin Edmonds, Ariel Zatoni trying to hunt down Vic Vega, but they're all still in the hunting phase right now.
I have a story.
Okay.
So we were at the nursery picking up plants and stuff a couple weeks back with my parents and all. Mm-hmm. And they had these wild ornamental flowers. It's basically like a one stalk shooting up in the air in this softball-sized purple flower. Okay. Like shaped like it's big spherical purple flower. Like, that's really weird. Look at the tag, and it's they called it something weird like purple sensation. So I'm like, that's kind of odd. And I, started looking around on the internet trying to figure out, because I was pretty sure it looks like a giant-sized chive flower. Like if you've seen chives flower, they get the spherical little purple flowers. Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like, but huge. Okay. I'm like, I would have to assume that they're part of the onion family, just like chives and garlic and stuff. And I was right, they are. They're essentially just weird onions. They're known as Persian onions, aka Dutch garlic. Okay. Which is weird. Like, are the Dutch so confused they don't know what garlic is, or are the
Persians I'm a little
so
bit confused by the Dutch garlic thing, because it's not even like the Dutch had Persian colonies in it. It's a bit weird.
It's just, I don't know why those.
Usually when something is called a Dutch something, it's usually from Indonesia, most likely.
Dutch baby.
Or South Africa.
Anyway, so this stuff apparently is native to the Middle East. Hence the Persian thing.
I figured that part.
But the Dutch garlic thing's weird, and so I had to know. Like, I gotta know. These things are onions, essentially. Are they edible? And they are, apparently. So you want some weird fucking onions? Apparently head your ass down to the local plant nursery.
That's Ken Scott getting out of the way. Ariel Zatoni, by the way, did catch it past Vic Vega. I missed that. My apologies. Ariel up to 8th place.
The worst.
We'll see. I don't think Ariel can get much higher, though. He's 6 seconds behind Serge Hendricks. Who, by the way, I don't think we've shown on camera at all. And he's made his way up to 7th place from 14th on the grid. Your big climber today is Antonio Costa, still at +9. Started 23rd, and he's up to 14th position. A couple of the big climbers, 7 spots for Martin Edmonds, Matt Al, as well as Serge Hendricks, Vic Vega, and James Butler. As you can see on your screen there now. Right now.
Oh my god.
Josiah Jerome off again. Rigging it looks like. Sean Zulu off, apparently. What's happened to the Zulu? He is dropping down the... Oh, he's out. Sean Zulu's out.
What?
There he is.
Why?
Parked it.
Well, with that livery, how are you gonna?
I don't know. I don't know. And it looks like he didn't have technical problems because he's still in the server. He went off the track while running in 6th place and decided to park it. I cannot co-sign that unless something in real life came up, obviously. You know, wife aggro, kid aggro, whatever. This certainly does happen.
That's why you gotta carry a stick.
I remember once I was racing an enduro race with Eric and Noel, my 2 Aussie buddies. Well, Eric's a Kiwi, and at one point, all we hear, we're on webcam with each other to you know kind of confirm that we're in the car, sort of thing. Noel's driving, so I'm just sitting there chatting with Eric a little bit, and all I hear in the background is Eric's wife yelling at him, and I'm not sure what, and a bucket comes and flies and hits him. And Noel, who sees none of this because he's driving, just goes, wife aggro. I'm like, wife aggro.
Oh, God. You forgot to empty the shitter. Whack.
It was a little bit cruel. Eric's in his 70s. You shouldn't be hitting him with a bucket.
That's uncalled for.
I assume the wife is in her 70s too, so I'm impressed by the arm, I guess. They put me with the old guys when I do endurance racing because... I don't know. I'm the youngest guy on the team, and they need somebody to eat up the time in the car. Because the other people are Steve Crosland, who you talked to before.
Crossland.
Yeah, he's on the team. Ken and Ben, the 2 guys who live together and swear they're not gay. And their friend Peter.
Who's also not gay.
Peter's married and has like 4 kids, so if he's gay, he's doing a great job behind him. Adam Komorowski off the track. Does rejoin still in 12th place though. Gets lapped by James Butler laps him. So he's been lapped by up to 8th place, making 9th place with Big Vega. I think he's got problems. That'll put the pressure on Martin Edmonds. And Byron. Byron, it's been 40 minutes. Martin's got no tires left, probably.
I'm not surprised. Somebody's knocking at my door. I have to go see what's going on. Sorry.
Not a problem. We'll talk about Matt Al versus Martin Edmonds here as they come up to Ken Scott. 2 laps down, but still running. That's Martin through without issue. Matt Al had to go a little bit wider than he probably wanted to there. Too bad. Battle for 4th place pretty much is the highlight. I don't think Rene Ermer's going to really make an attempt at that 2nd place against Kaschuk. He's a half second back with probably 1 lap to go. We'll see if Martin can hang on to 4th place. It would be important. He needs to limit the damage in the championship. To be honest, he was probably thinking that he was going to lose a lot of ground to Martin or to Tobias Thierolf today. And he still is. Thierolf in 1st place. But 4th place, if you told him he was going to get 4th place after qualifying 11th, I think he'd take that. And, we'll see if he can hang on down here to the end. This is the best battle on the track. Vic Vega is within a second of James Butler. He's according to the director tool in the attack zone, but not really. And Rene Ermer is, of course, still, more or less oscillating 4/10 to 6/10 behind Magic Kaschuk. But that's been, it is closing. It is closing. It was down to 0.37 there for a little bit. So that is the closest Ermer has been. I'll keep an eye on that, but I think if anyone's going to make a move, it is Matt Al. Held off for now, though. To the line, it will be Martin Edmonds in 4th. So Tobias Thierolf is your winner today, followed by Magic Kaschuk, who got a good start and hung on. Rene Ermer will join them on the podium with his Skechers livery. Then it is Martin and Matt Al who are watching. Serge Hendricks in 6th place, ahead of Ariel Zatoni in the Apt Audi. James Butler will finish this race in 8th place. He had a rough day. Him and Zatoni both had a rough day, so let's take top 10s. Vic Vega. And a man who had a really tough day, Dirk Rushel, hit the barrier hard, messed up the car. You could see the damage to the front end, but he's got himself a top 10 today, and that is what matters. Lap cars for Scott Nick, Adam Komorowski, Antonio Costa, Mauricio Delgado, Josiah Jerome, and Ken Scott. Sean Zulu, Steve Davidson, Raul Valoria, Bertrand Barrier, Andrew D, Benji Davis, and Jebs Sparks, your DNFs. I feel like Bertrand Barrier is looking for Discord friends with the the Discord there in his team. Could be wrong. Fantastic racing today. We had a lot of good action. Things were a little sloppy. I don't mind saying that there were a couple of cars off track. There was definitely some problems, but not a bad outing, all things considered.
The worst. Everybody's spun everywhere.
That's Thirl's third win of the season in 4 rounds. He will be pretty dominantly in charge of the championship at this point. He came in today 8 points ahead of Martin. He outscored him 60-40. So yeah, he'll be looking at a 28-point lead, which is going to be quite a bit. Alfonso Alexandre was not present today. Neither was Fumihiro Kobayashi. So Edmonds will be keeping 2nd place, I think, pretty easily. James Butler was the next highest guy present. He did beat him. Next up, we will be going to Zhejiang in China. Our first round in Asia. That'll be on June 24th, 4 p.m. practice start time. We'll be running until about 6 p.m. Eastern time. So there you go. That's all Eastern time. Do conversions if you must. And
we got Ender D in chat. He did have internet failure. We guessed since you became Pavement. It was interesting.
Yep. Yeah, you can't get back in once it's knocked out. Is there a race 2 here today? I don't think there was, but I could be mistaken.
It's listed as having.
Yep. We got a second race. All right, never mind. We're going for the one.
Do it live.
We're not done. Here I am thinking we're done. No, we're not done.
The neighbor came to the door, wanted to borrow my hose, and wouldn't take yes for an answer.
Like, should be mentioned.
Yeah, go ahead.
Should be mentioned.
Leave me alone.
I'm just dropping a hint here to the admin. But I mean, if you're gonna say we're done by 6 o'clock and we're not done by 6 o'clock, you maybe want to edit that. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Same.
Unless they're bamboozling us.
No, I think we're getting a second one here. Because I was getting ready to sign off, and we're not signing off.
Good night, everybody.
We're not done. We're not done.
Or are we?
Should have known that though when we didn't have the mandatory pit stop, because normally this series does have a mandatory pit stop with the 60-minute races. But yeah, this is the first doubleheader we have. There's only 3 doubleheaders on the season by the looks of it. No, only 2. Nogaro, the only other one.
Is that Big Nogaro or Little Nogaro?
Little Nogaro. We'll be at 60 minutes for Zhejiang as well as Indianapolis, and 90 minutes in the finale at Bathurst.
Oh my God, 90 minutes! These guys got to be in bed. That's not responsible. Saw a pretty good sports call for the Reds game the other day.
Oh,
they got that hot ass new rookie Ellie De La Cruz. Mm-hmm. He absolutely crushed a home run. The thing's like he smashes this thing, and the announcer's like, "That ball had a family." Yes, get him.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, we're back in. We've got a reverse grid here. What's the reverse grid? Do we have an answer? I'm not seeing it in the rules I've been provided with. Andrew, do you know what the reverse grid is?
I believe it's top 70.
I'm imagining it's probably top 10, but it's not being stated here. In which case, that would put Vega, I think, on pole.
Victor 2.
Pardon me, would be Dirk Greshel. If it is top 10, it'd be Greshel, Vega, Butler, Zatoni, Hendricks.
It's right there. Number 10 on your screen, number 10 in your hearts, number 10 in your program.
Well, he said, I think 10.
Do you think?
I think 10. Andrew D thinks 10, but neither of us seem to really know.
Or is he speaking in binary?
Well, then it would be top 3. I don't think there's a point in doing that.
Defeat your...
Pardon me, top 2.
Argument.
1-1 would be 3.
3-3 would be 1.
Just saying, it's not on the RWB events tab.
It's all ones and zeros. I thought I saw a 2.
Well, we are going to find out. Be able to tell you based on who is starting on pole position here, how much reverse grid happened.
Josiah Jerome to the front.
Don't think it'd be Josiah. That'd have to go really far down.
It's top 23 reverse grid.
Well, then pole position would go to somebody who retired from race 1. The first retirement.
You must race against Ghost Bowser and Ghost Donkey Kong.
Admittedly, Andrew's fate is one of the reasons why I don't like doing multiple races in RaceRoom, because you'll get somebody who has a gets has a technical problem in race 1, and they end up getting double whammied by missing both races, which is a little bit lame.
Whammy.
Starting on pole position, it is Tobias Thirol, so no reverse grid apparently. I am not a fan of this. I am not a fan. What is the point of doing this all over again with the guy who won race 1 out in front? Anyways, he's off to a good start. Magic Kazchuk on the outside will probably not be a threat to him. That is Martin Edmonds in the WeatherTech car, as well as Rene Erber trying to make their way through as well. And it is indeed going to be in the lead, Tobias Thirol, followed by Rene Ermer up into second place. Magic Kazchuk falling to third, so he had a bad start this time around. Martin Edmonds in fourth, Matt Al, Serge Hendricks, Ariel Zatoni, Vic Vega, James Butler, Adam Komarowski, your top 10. Only 15 cars in the field here in race 2, so big points on offer for these gentlemen. And possibly ladies, although I'm pretty sure everyone here is a gentleman.
We're probably rabble-rousers. I think Mauricio's probably a rabble-rouser.
Well, I mean more they are the male persuasions.
Butler's definitely a hooligan, not a gentleman.
We only got 15 cars out here, Andrew D. I don't know what happened to the rest. I imagine the guys who DNF'd are... Well, no, even some of the DNF guys are here, because Antonio Costa DNF race 1, and he is here. So there's that. Sean Zulu, I think, is having some problems right now. Bertrand Barrier falling down to 15th place. Could also be I'm glitching here, and I'm not getting the rest of the cars, but I'm not getting them in the camera control. So
is this what we would call the race room experience?
Let's see here. Let's pick up Sean Zulu. No, this looks like that is the back of the back. Whoa! Big inside move there by Mauricio Delgado. As he, oh no, Mauricio! He clips Bertrand Barrier.
Boy Caliente.
That is not a good move. Barrier will probably report that, and he will have a case.
I would do so.
Oh, Raul Valori moving up. So yeah, there are more than 15 cars out here. I don't know what kind of glitch we're getting here today. I apologize to the viewers. This is another reason I dislike the second race. It glitches out the spectator tool. We're compiling all the reasons I don't like multiple races. Sean Zulu on the tail of Scott Nick there. Scott Nick moving to overtake Dirk Greshel, who appears to be having some problems. And Sean Zulu also trying to get through. car Mauricio Delgado in that mix as well in 13th place. And a spin off for Zulu.
Car friends.
There's the man bringing up the rear that we can see Bertrand Barrier overtaking Raul Valoria, who looks very uncomfortable. Sean Zulu rejoining in 16th place. Or 15th place. There is a 16th place car there, though. That's Ken Scott. So yeah, we do have an invisible car scenario going here. I'm sorry to anyone who's below 15th place, but I can't see you on the camera control. My apologies. You're not on the tower, and I can't see the controls.
I think Ricky Bobby said that. Not first or 16th.
So, at the very least, I can't see Ken Scott on my control set here. There may be others. Tobias Theerolf in the lead. Rene Airbird second. Magic Kaschuk in third position. Ken Scott slow down penalty, which you can see he's not on the tower. Your big climbers, Bertrand Barrier, is being given 10 spots because I believe it had him in P23 at the start. Josiah Jerome's had a really fun race. He's up in his 6th place actually, having displaced James Butler. He is on the charge. Matt Allen behind him as well as Antonio Costa. Oh no! He spotted. Oh, Josiah. What are we doing here today, Josiah? Sean Zulu making the overtake of Raul Valoria, who looks like he is nursing a damaged car. Mauricio Delgado in behind Dirk Greshel.
I want a mod that puts a little food tray on the driver's side window for Mauricio. You see, like an arm come out the window and like, grab some cheese and crackers.
Indeed.
This drink fountain thing for his helmet's filled with Pinot Noir.
I'll be fine with it. Sean Zulu appears to have DNF'd the race.
Oh,
He's out again.
How dare you disgrace the South African livery, sir?
Dirk Greshel trying to get up past Scott Nick. Also, the fact that Ken Scott is not overtaking Sean Zulu despite his DNF suggests that he may also be in the race. Commentator jinx is a thing, Andrew. It's true. Some people are allergic to the camera. That's all I can say. Scott Nick losing a spot there to Dirk Greshel.
Unlike Mike, I'm actually like a Bard. I give a +2 to transmission. But I haven't sung anything today, so.
I think really what you should do is give like a downforce bonus. Yeah. Or sing about it.
Get the DRS.
Ah, that too. Or push to pass.
Hit to pass. Get it right.
They both exist.
I need Porsche hit to pass. Oh, somebody decided.
That is Magic Kaschuk off the track.
Magically malicious.
Second place in race 1 and was looking at a podium here in race number 2. Rejoin in 11th, 12th place behind Josiah Dream. Bertrand Barrier retiring from the race. We're down to 13. Antonio Costa on the tail of James Butler for 5th place.
James Butler. He ain't playing.
Costa's up 11 spots from his 17th on the grid. I believe, by the way, he says that we had 17 at the start. based on my humble mathematics of 11 plus 6 equaling 17. Train forming up behind Dirk Russell as well with Scott Nick, Mauricio Delgado, and Josiah Jerome on his team. Very, very close. Costa hanging on here against BWT, the Pink Panther of Adam Kalmarowski, who's up in 7th place and having a very solid race 2. That is Butler off.
Off to get another bottle of wine.
He'll lose both those spots. Josiah Jerome on the attack. He's got 2 cars stacked up in front of him in the forms of Mauricio Delgado and Scott Nick. Car guy in the Boston car. Defensive line there from Mauricio before returning to the driving line. See if they can make a move here into turn 1, side by side. Josiah v. Mauricio, 2 of our favorite drivers. And that is Josiah through and into 10th place.
Magla have come up with a new team that should form, a new duo, if you will.
Okay.
It will be called Mauricio Del Scotto.
I like it. As for your question there, Andrew, I'm suspecting we started the race with 17 cars by my math. We know we've lost Ken Scott, who's not listed on the tower, and I'm just leaving room for another car to have started the race that we had lost. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the spectator tool. It's been doing this a lot lately with second races where it just goofs and the tower doesn't work properly, anyways, which is disappointing. I had not realized that the camera control would even goof up and not even show the car, which is very disappointing because I'm very certain we saw Ken Scott getting penalties, and he is not listed on my camera control nor on the tower. And the Costa train is getting longer. Josiah Jerome and Mauricio Delgado are on the end of it now.
Get in line, boys.
He is pulling his best Yarno Truly impression.
Indeed, I do know. Truly.
Do I have to explain the trolley train to you?
I can guess.
Well, give me your guess. Give me your guess.
Man was defensive.
There's a little bit more to that. Yarno Truly was a driver who was very, very, very good at one-lap qualifying. So, like, he'd have a really, really fast one-lap performance, and it would just go away in the race. So he'd be very defensive, but also slower than he was in qualifying. So, like, say he qualified in P4, the 3 cars in front of him would, like, get away at the front, and there would be, like, 4th place down to, like, 13th place in the line. He raced for, Adam Komorowski with an overtake. Adam Komorowski looking for a top 5 here today. Who saw that coming? He is driving out of his pants right now.
Ooh, delightful. Can we get that on cam? We can get a lot more ratings.
He is bringing it. This was a guy who didn't even look like he was going to be able to get a top 10 here today, and he's up 5th in that BTW Pink Panther, that lovely, distinctive livery. Job is definitely not done. He's got 18 minutes more with Antonio Costa on his tail, James Butler on his tail, Dirk Russell on his tail. Josiah Jerome is a little bit further back with Scott Nick and Mauricio Delgado. But, like, you know, the Costa train might be broken. I'm surprised to see Costa struggling this much. I know he didn't qualify very well, but I chalked that up to just only getting 1 lap in. This guy's been usually has been quite good. But, he may lose a spot here to James Butler. Butler to the inside. Has the tighter line around this corner and the next one. Oof, little contact. Costa remains ahead. Butler manages to hang on against Dirk Greshel there. Andrew saying. Yeah, it's I don't know what's up with the spectator tool. It's been a long time. It's not been fixed. So I think unfortunately we are just living in an era where it's not going to work properly. As Josiah Jerome is on the attack, he smells Dirk Greshel. He smells wounded prey. And here he comes. Like a shark in the ocean. I do believe that this was supposed to be a time race, so that part is correct. Per the webpage, 30-minute race. I just think the only thing they may have messed up was the lack of a reverse grid.
What if we had the inclusion of a perverse grid?
Unless the intention was to just not have a reverse grid, but I don't really know why you would do a second race without a reverse grid. I think usually reverse grid is kind of the idea, the point of the multi-round stuff. It injects a level of intrigue to the race that is not there otherwise. Although this race has been pretty good.
Not enough spins.
Mostly because of the Costa train. But it now contains Butler, Greshel, Jerome, Nick, Delgado, and now Magic Kazchuk's caught up to the back of it in the red Ferrari. He's looking for a move on. Mauricio Delgado for 11 points. And might get it, though, as not on Delgado, but Scott Nick makes a big mistake into the chicane. He loses 10th to Delgado, and he may lose 11th to Kazchuk. Or 10th to 11th. Goes on the attack against Delgado, side by side, opens a door for Magic Kazchuk, and the Polish Brit is on the move up into 11th place. You know he's got speed. He was second in race 1. Josiah Jerome still on the attack against Dirk Greshel as well. There it is. Tobias Thero for the meantime, 6+ seconds up ahead of Rene Ermer and in control, looking for a second consecutive win here at Donington.
He's not bad at this whole racing job thing.
He's not bad at all.
He seems pretty okay.
It also looks like he'll probably be the starting designated hitter for our Las Vegas Blackjacks.
What? I thought that was my job.
Now you're the first baseman.
I thought that was my job too.
Can't do both, sir.
I'm a designated first baseman. Whose the backstory for my character is that he was a stay-at-home astronaut, retired,
Gotcha.
and invented.
Is this all just because Tim actually gave his character a backstory?
Yeah, I didn't know we were getting creative. My character also invented.
I mean, I'm not sure if creative is the word. He basically just made him himself with bad knees.
I got bad knees. Well, I mean, they just hurt.
Side-by-side action. Kazchuk getting his way. Oh, Josiah Jerome off the track. And dropping back.
I can make, I mean, to make everything fair. I can make everybody else a backstory.
I mean, you can do what you want. You can ask if you want.
He was raised in the urban jungles of outer Montana. Ate only bread crust until he was 75 years old. When he
I think our DHing spots will mostly be taken up by Tobias Thierolf and whose name is Tobias Thrustmaster. And Titus Obabatunde. Going by Titus Jenkins. Needless to say, Obabatunde was not an option.
Babatunde! Did you try those bees for just Babatunde?
I did. Wasn't no Babatunde either.
Oh, fuck.
That's Denver's buddy from Nebraska. As Rolf Loria continues to struggle. He is our backup right fielder and backup designated.
One of the actors from the elder pimp from the Pimp Scene in Black Dynamite. That's Obabatunde.
Yeah, he was very aware of that. He's aware that his name has been made fun of a lot.
It's just fun that everybody.
We were discussing whether his last name probably actually is just probably Babatunde. It's probably just Babatunde. It got translated incorrectly on the paperwork when his family immigrated, perhaps because according to forebears, Babatunde not really a last name. There's just not many of them, but there are a lot of Babatundes.
Babatunde.
We went with Titus Jenkins in tribute to Leroy Jenkins.
Very nice.
Also, Titus is going to make himself a fighter in the sim there. And from our brief discussion, he basically appears to be Rampage Jackson. Josiah on the... Josiah! The track is where you're supposed to be. Stop cutting the grass.
Come out, ride that train. And ride it.
Komorowski, by the way, still hanging on to 5th place. Ahead of Antonio Costa, who's got a little bit of breathing room back to James Butler, who is under attack from Dirk Greshel. Kazchuk is 9th. Delgado 10th. Nick Jerome. And the struggling Raul Valor. Oh, no! Butler in the wall.
Bubbled a little too hard.
Oh, his front end is massacred.
That's fine.
That is not fine. That is not going to be treat to drive. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord.
It just looks like a Porsche now.
Lord, oh, Lord. It does not look like a Porsche now.
Oh,
boy.
Too much. Yeah, there we go.
That is not going to be a joy to drive.
It's fine.
Costa on the attack against Komorowski. Looking to get back in the top 5, a position he lost to Komorowski 8 minutes ago. Butler, by the way, is off the track. Yeah, he's out. Yeah, he ain't driving this any further. So we're down to 12.
That's more. I mean, that's 11 more than you need, really.
I mean, Tobias Thierol probably would agree with me.
By the way, more people who DNF, the points just condense further and further up the tree. So, like, first place at this point, I think, is up to 3.5 million points.
Interesting note about Super Mega Baseball 4, by the way. Fallon's name was not in the game. She was very disappointed by that. She'll be going by Freya Nash for the
Eat.
There have been some weird names that have been unexpectedly missing from the game, to be honest. As Magic Kazchuk goes.
Andrew says Butler got caught up by the little nasties on the curb. I will be filing little nasties away in my brain to refer to children from now on.
The little nasties are the little turtle curbs that some places use that really upset the car.
Those are children now.
I'm fine with you using it for whatever you want to use it for.
Keep
I'm
the
just telling you
little
what it is.
nasties away from me. Also, what idiot called it vegetable soup and not corn soup? Oh, now Slider's talking about sausages. Dang it.
Oh, weird name that wasn't in the game is a last name. It was Albert. No Albert.
Is that a common last name?
It's a common last name. It's common last and first name, and it's in there as a first name. There's a player in Baseball Stars 2 whose name was Albert, so that's how I know. I was looking for Albert. I just when I was creating the player, I was like, I expected to find Albert as a last name option, and I did.
Well, now you can't make Albert, and you probably can't also make Fat Albert.
No, I can make Albert Fats though.
That's pretty cool. Like Fat Albert.
Although the game's generated player of Fats Precious still stands out on that one.
Although the was it Super Mega Baseball 2 with the entire cheese team?
Oh yeah.
The cheese.
You can still do that. You can still do it.
Let's do that.
They're all in there.
You gotta. Where is it? It's not Minnesota.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, but that's a team from the game, so I'm gonna be using the game names.
God damn it.
I'll put some cheese players on the free agency list and we'll see what happens.
Just do like Chicago, where they got 2 teams in the same city.
That could work. I mean, it wouldn't be Milwaukee. I mean, the answer would be like having a team in Green Bay and Milwaukee.
Well, that'd be pretty cool.
Or Madison, Wisconsin.
The Green Bay Cheese Faces.
Josiah hanging on for the time being against Scott Nick, although he should probably pull away from these two. He's caught them and passed them, I think, 3 times. So that hopefully will bring it down. Well, Magic isn't Canadian, so why would he be part of your national team there?
British is pretty much Canadian.
Or informal team. I got you. Kazchuk is still running in 11th place, so he's still out.
Everybody knows that Britain's just a colony of Canada. They're like the...
Andrew, I would think that your informal team has to include Mauricio Delgado, though. You both have the car guy Ferrari. And I mean, who wouldn't want Mauricio as a teammate? Get expertise chefery in the pit lane.
That'll be Mauricio's election slogan when he runs for office. Mauricio, he brings the chorizo.
He does. Costa was on the attack against Komorowski, but it looks like Komorowski has repulsed it once again. Delgado on the attack against Scott Nick. This is for 9th place. So Scott Nick and Mauricio Delgado knocking on the door of top 10s, Byron. How does that make you feel?
Pretty darn good.
Good to know. Martin Edmonds is still up on the podium. He's got Mad Al on his tail, so, there's interest going on there. Dirk Greschel is on the tail of Antonio Costa, who's looking to make a move on Komorowski again. But the BWT Audi is hanging on against the 2 Ferraris. Dogged determination to bring home this 5th place. This is drive of the day for Adam Komorowski right here. Drive of the season, frankly. Phenomenal. Hopefully he can bring it home here on the last 5 minutes. Side-by-side action. Greschel's going for it against Costa. I think Costa will hang on the inside line here through 2 turns. Very hard to make an overtake in turn 1 and 2 without getting that inside line. Can be done.
Very hard.
It's very hard. Mauricio Delgado trying to hold off against Scott Nick, or take Scott Nick's spot, actually. Unable to do that. Scott hanging on to 9th place. Off the track. And Mauricio swipes on through into 9th place. Matt All on the tail of Martin Edmonds looking for that podium. I don't think he quite has it. And we will probably be looking at a lot at the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th down the line. Komorowski versus Costa versus Greschel. Josiah Jerome in the background trying to get into on the fight, but he is 5.8 seconds to drive. I mean, in fairness with Magic, I don't know if the Canadian pole team works very well without him. The only other person you could include would be like Tomek Was, who is actually a Canadian and Polish extraction. So there you go.
But I mean, the real question is, why would we need that team for pole cats?
I mean, that would be comparing Thomas to a cat. I'm not really down for that.
The pole dancers.
I'm not really down for that either.
Wow. So negative.
Tomic is not very graceful. I've seen him play soccer.
What about the pole riders? The pole vaulters?
Riders would work, vaulters not so much. Again, can't really jump.
But that's what you use the stick for.
I don't think you can even jump with using the stick.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to use the stick.
I don't
Just
think he has the
run.
coordination for this.
Put one foot in front of the other, chunk the stick in the hole, get up, get on up.
Ooh. Mistake there by Komorowski. Costa on the attack. And we'll hang on. But Komorowski is a guy who is driving at 110% right now to try and stay in 5th place. He is under immense pressure from 2 drivers who are, let's just say, a little bit more accomplished. But right now, that BWT Audi is clinging to 5th place. A little bit of contact there. Costa's car is upset. Side by side into corner 1. That opens the door for Dirk Gruschel.
I'm upset.
By the way, Josiah Jerome is making up about a second a lap, but I don't think he has enough laps to get in on this fight. So, that is bold. And Gruschel gets the job done. That is 6th place. Oh, he's wide! He's very wide!
Wow.
And Costa goes back through.
Mike has had this talk about car shooting.
The line is wide, sir.
Wow.
Also, I mean,
Now
he's
you're
driving a
blaming
Ferrari 488. That's not a very wide car at all.
Bodywork shaming again.
I have seen the Ferrari 488. I've driven the Ferrari 488. It is not a wide car.
Is that the one you got stuck in?
No, that was the Corvette.
No.
I did get stuck in the Corvette C7. I'll give you a little hint here. If you're like a reasonably tall dude with some bad knees and bad back, most of these cars are not comfortable to sit in. Just saying that right now. There are a couple of exceptions. The Lexus RCF is actually pretty comfortable. That's a GT3 car that I would actually have no problem driving. The Mercedes AMG is not too bad either, and the BMW M4, as well as the M6. They were pretty comfortable. Surprisingly comfortable car, Porsche 911.
What about the 912? Even more.
Worst car to sit in that I've ever driven. Magic Kazchuk is out of the race, so we are down to 11 cars. Scott Nick is up on Mauricio Delgado's bumper.
Just
You're on the last lap. Least comfortable car to sit in. I mean, it's probably the Corvette C7. I couldn't get out of it easily.
What about a Boeing 747?
I mean, we'd be able to get out of that pretty easily, I would think.
No. Well,
Across the line, Mauricio will hang on to 9th place. That is Scott Nick. But your winner today is Tobias Thirol for the 2nd straight race. Rene Ermer, 2nd place. Martin Evans will join him on the podium. Matt Allen, 4th place. Adam Komorowski, Antonio Costa, Dirk Gruschel, Josiah Jerome, Mauricio Delgado, Scott Nick. Magic Kazchuk, despite DNFing the race, finishes 11th ahead of Raul Valoria. By the way, shout out to Raul Valoria for just sticking with it and doing what he could do out there. The car clearly wasn't working very well. And he was 3 laps down, but he was out there still turning those laps and trying to make it work. And he'll get 12 places as well. We lost James Butler, Bertrand Barrier, Shane Zulu, and Ken Scott over the course of the race. Also down to Ariel Zatoni. So there you go. We had 20 cars at least at the start. We just couldn't see them. Anyways, that is all from this track. Tobias Thirol will be leading the championship coming into Zhejiang, unless he got a ridiculously bad penalty. And Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
A tisket, a tasket,